All right, everybody, it's time for late night crap talk. Let's get that countdown timer started right there. Savia's running a few minutes late, but she'll be on soon. We have a fun, important show tonight, folks. Uh, we're talking about health scare, wake up call, health scares, and know your health. We're going to be relating a couple of stories tonight, and this will be a pretty personal show for us. If not, this may be the most personal for us, but we plan some fun and bring some highlights in there. So we are live. I'll be starting to get the ding ding dings from all my notices to let us know that we are live on the channels of Velcrack Traders and Dancing Bear Indian Trader. Let's see. That would be two. Well, let's see. I got two notices so far. So we're live on two Facebook channels and two YouTube channels and two Twitch channels. We're 2222 on three forums. That makes 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 divided by 3. You do the math. I'm crazy with it. So that's what's going on, folks. We're just waiting to get a few messages here. All right, we got a couple people watching. Let me know who you are, where you're from. Let us know so we can say hi. Proper introductions. With that, we might have some medical fun tonight. Matter of fact, I got to go share. I got to share tonight's show. Let me get that going. Folks, you got to, hopefully you're sharing too. Let's see here. Okay. Well, I'm getting texts from people right now going, "Hey, great show. We're live." Yep, there we are. All right. Let me pick a channel. So, who we got? We got a couple people watching. Let's see here. Let me get Sharon going. Oh, my name's not Sharon. Anyway, so been a kind of a pretty eventful week. We're gonna have a fun story that Savea's got from Dancing Bear and little road trip they had, and some fun developments over here at Elk Rack, and the show. So we are still 8 minutes out from live. I'll tell you, been something. Weather down here for us is the humidity starting to hit in India, and the humidity and the heat. Getting 115 with, well, those of you in the East Coast will go, ha, 26% humidity is nothing. Well, out here, that's called wet. We live in a desert. Why not? Matter of fact, it was got so hot on Monday that I think I saw the devil waving by on an air conditioned bus headed out of the Coachella Valley. It is hot. Yes, it was. All right. 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Whoa, come on, countdown climber, get going quick. And 7:25. All right, we got another person that just signed on to watch us. Give me names. Let me know who you are. I can say hi. So we're waiting for Svea. She should be on in just a couple of minutes. Well, Svea, I need to get a drink of water. Matter of fact, let me look up. Tonight we're talking about medical emergencies. It's probably time for some medical jokes. So let's Google some and let's see what we got. I am typing in medical jokes. Well, you know what? Let's just go with this emergency room jokes because we're going to tell a story that might just involve, different parts of hospital or medical and doctors and all that. Let's go with emergency room jokes. I Googled this earlier because every week on the first, let's see, Svea, nope, not yet. Every week I always look up some kind of dad joke and tell about it. And I found some that were a little racy, but we're gonna see what else we got. These are called alternatives to the jokes I tell on the opening credits. Tonight's a good one. It's a good one. And we're not gonna be talking about quackery. We're not talking about ducks. Okay, what we got here? 911. What's your emergency? The man says, a guy just got hit by a car. I need an ambulance. The operator says, what's the location? Man says, I'm on Eucalyptus Street. Operator says, can you spell that out for me? The man has a long, awkward pause and he says, sir, are you there? There's read more. Man says, I'm going to drag him over to the Pine Street and call right back. Could spell eucalyptus. That was actually a pretty good joke right there. All right. Okay, let's see. We got right here. I accidentally dialed the emergency services from my phone last night. So I set my house on fire so I didn't look stupid. I think that needs some help. All right. This probably happens somewhere in this world at some point like that. Okay, we got a few more going. 5 minutes and 23 seconds to count down, folks. All right. Well, I'm not going to tell that joke. Let's see what else we got here. All right. What did the emergency dispatcher say when they were asked if they worked indoors or outdoors? And the response is, 911 is an inside job. Okay, that was lame. Let me look one over here. Okay, that's not going to happen. All right, emergency parachute wanted. Any condition, just get here as soon as possible. What? All right, that wasn't very good. All right, Svea, where you at? Get on here. 4 minutes and 41 seconds to go. All right, we got a few viewers right there. 1 thumbs up, cool. Matter of fact, oopsie, I didn't. Okay, cursor. We're a little technical difficulty right here because I just looked over and we have our banner on Tron. So let's take care of that right quick. All right, comments. Let's see that we got 1 comment. All right, hello, Wendy Hodge. Okay, type down what is the parachute joke. I don't get it. Let me read it again. Emergency parachute wanted. Any condition, just get here. Okay, I get it. I had to reread it. Yes, you got the parachute joke. I got the parachute joke now too. It's emergency parachute joke. Just get here as soon as wanted. All right. I'm thick. There's got to be a joke right there too. That's embarrassing for me. Well, we're live on the internet. Why not? It's all documented for the world. All right, folks. Get ready to drum roll, please. We have a visit from Svea. And she just turned off her camera. And apparently I am listed live on the camera right now. So okay, Svea, don't do that.
I'm
okay,
sorry.
That's what we're supposed to do.
That's what we're supposed to do. Okay, let me turn off the thing.
Yeah, you accidentally removed me from there, and I saw the audio was removed, and I just went back to the proper button. Tisk, tisk, girl. Tisk, tisk.
I'm sorry. Here it. There we go.
Gotcha. We got a minute, so I'm going to run over and get some water. The
okay,
audience
I'm
is
sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. And
tell Svea about the parachute joke, y'all.
Parachute joke? What's the parachute joke?
Wendy will tell you.
Okay, let's see. Wendy has a parachute. Let's see. We can't be live yet. We still have 3 minutes. Well, yeah, let's see. We do have a couple minutes. Let's see, what time is it? I can't even tell. But hey, everyone. I'm sorry for being late. I went to dinner with some coworkers and I lost track of time. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I have to drive home. I called James. I'm like, James, I'm driving home right now. I'm so sorry. But I got here just like in the barely nick of time. And James was awesome to start the show early, like normal. I have Princess Leia in my arms right now. I'm holding her. She's being super cute. She's like, scratch my tummy, scratch my tummy.
All right, we got a few things that have been said here right quick. We have, well, we got about a minute and a half until we go, till we start the credits here. But we got, when do you got the parachute joke? You want to know the parachute joke?
It says emergency chute needed. Any condition, please.
911. Wait, where's the emergency joke again? Okay, emergency parachute. Where did it go? Oh, emergency parachute wanted. Any condition, just get here as soon as possible. I was like, what? And then Wendy goes, I got the parachute joke, and I read it again, and I went, oh. I get it now. And I did in front of the whole world. All right. Oh, 1 minute to count down.
Look at James. Look what she's doing.
Is she asleep?
No, she wants you to scratch her tummy. Look at.
See, keep her in that position so the audience. Well, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Look at.
Everybody, look at what Princess Leia's doing.
She's not asleep. She just wants me to pet her stomach right now as I'm holding her.
Not spoiled, right? Not spoiled. All right, let's go back to the countdown. We have less than a minute, folks. Wendy says, I can't believe it. I can't be live yet. Still, we have 3 minutes.
Yeah,
okay, she told you the joke in the comments.
Yeah.
Wendy's on the ball. Wendy, we got to use host show.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break one night. So, you ready? We got 15 seconds.
Yeah, cute.
Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, the show's about the businesses and the happenings. It's not.
No, but she's so cute. She's just like, scratch my tummy.
Yeah, the only reason people watch. All right, 10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
showtime! It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Svea Yang and James Hermes. On this week's show, Wake Up Call, Health Scares, and Know Your Health. A man enters the emergency room with a duck attached to his head. Everybody is astonished. People can't believe what they're seeing. The doctor's amazed. After a few minutes, the doctor asks, "What happened here?" "I don't know," answers the duck. "Everything started with a bit of pain in my foot." It's time to start the show. Pain in my foot.
Hi, hold on a second. My mom has come over and told me that I need to help her because she cannot find the video on the phone.
Seriously?
Yes.
During the show.
Yes, I know. Mom, you should know how to find it a lot sooner than this.
Chris, just put a chair to the side.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I hear the laugh. Chris, put your head in the show. Put your head in the camera. Hi, Chris.
Hi, is it there?
You're slightly disappearing. There you are. Chris.
Hi. I'm a floating head.
Just sit right off to the side and watch the show. You're like,
I know.
we could say live in front of a studio audience person. Singular. How do you say audience singular?
So, Mom, here, watch here, and I'm going to put it on my page.
Yeah, something changed. I couldn't find it.
I don't know why she's not seen it. Let me just check because she said I can't find Dancing Bear on her.
Well,
yeah, when I do.
While we're doing that, Facebook just went through a change. So
I know. So I
just we got to get used to that. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and just get the introductions while you do that technical part.
Yes. Yes.
Folks, we do Late Night Craft Talk once a week to showcase artists and people that are inspirational and sometimes just skills or stories that we want to share on the show. We'll cover various topics, not just about crafts, but cut crafts and the artwork. It's a very encompassing, broad subject, and we have a lot of fun with doing it. We've been doing the show for about almost 2.5 years. We started right at the beginning of the pandemic, and we've been doing live every Friday night. Sometimes it's pre-recorded because as things open up, we get busy our lives. We have shows, powwows to go to, rodeos, whatnot. But tonight we're live. You know that, folks, because we're responding to your comments.
Yes.
And I'm still I will. Well, there's an emergency parachute incident in the pre-show. Okay. So with that, are you ready?
I'm trying to get this ready. Sorry
All
about
right,
that.
gotcha. So let me go ahead and say what's going on with Elk Rack Traders this week.
Yes, say what's going on with Elk Rack.
It's not a lot going on. All will be revealed. I'll say that much. But we are getting geared up. We have shows coming up over there for those of our viewers in Orange County, California. Elk Rack Traders will be at the Rancho Mission Viejo Rodeo the last full weekend of August, so right that week before Labor Day weekend. And then for our fans that live in Southern California general, come to Verona Powwow Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of Labor Day weekend, and you will see one Dancing Bear Indian Trader and Elk Rack Traders side by side. You can come over and go, there's Elk Rack, there's Dancing Bear, there's James, there's Svea. I'm going to go talk to Svea. James, not so much. Look what you did. You're going to confuse our viewers and get us dizzy, girl.
I know. Everyone's like, what's going on? It's just being a big old crazy mess. Okay, I'm sorry. My mom needed me to help her see the show on her phone so she can watch it because she watches her show every week. Gotcha. So what's going on with Dancing Bear? We actually are preparing for our bead retreat. We're actually putting together our pricing so we can do our registration for our bead retreat. We also are preparing for the bead shop hop, which is going to be so cool. We're going to fully decorate our store like crazy. Definitely going to be something you're going to want to see. We're going to do like crazy decorations. It's going to be awesome. This year's theme of the year is Wonders of the World. And so we chose a wonder that's a secret. I'm not going to tell you guys because you will find out when you come to our store. But it's very exciting. all of the stores have picked a different wonder of the world, and we're all decorating our stores and having really good kind of gifts with purchases, and you can win prizes by doing the bead shop hop. And it's super fun. You get to go on like a road trip for bead stores. So that's going to be the weekend after Labor Day, 2 weekends in the row in September. It does kind of mix with powwow time. So if you're not going to be at the powwows the entire time, make sure to try to stop in at some bead stores that are participating on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, if you're driving around a little bit. But that's what we're getting ready for. So, and we've just been running around like crazy trying to work on that. So
I want to go a little talk back here to our little go back a little bit to Verona. We know that we have a fan. What? 2 autograph opportunities at the same place? Yes, there will be. Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah. Oh, you know what though? That's a good idea. We should get a picture. We should be like, we should take a picture and then you can sign it.
We'll sell the pictures and autographs. We'll sell the pictures at El Crack Traders of Svea and I going like that. It'll be 3 easy payments of $10.99.
Well, you know what? Actually, it would be a great way to help pay for our show.
Seriously, it would. This is the drain.
We've been doing this for free. Like we don't make money off this.
No, we don't.
So
it's not a drag. We do it because of labor of love. But ooh boy! All right, we got another.
Maybe we'll start a Patreon account. I don't know.
Well, we'll address that, folks. We've been talking about it, but our intention is to keep the show free, always, because we love. See, little heart.
Yes.
All right, shall we get on?
Yes, let's go ahead. We're going to talk about it,
folks. We're going to let you know that we're going to share some really personal information tonight. This is where probably be one of our more personal shows that we're going to put out tonight, but we're going to keep it fun. Stick with us. We're not being Debbie Downers because we have some fun at the end to bring it all full circle. So tonight's show is about wake up call, medical emergencies, and know your health for a reason. We've both had health scares this week, the last couple of weeks, or recently.
This year.
This year. Yes. And we're going to share those with you. We're going to talk about what happened, what our stories are, the physical and emotional challenges, and then we're going to tell you what we're doing to rectify to make it bring it full circle and put a smile on your face. So, in for a penny, in for a pound, folks. Here it is. You or me first. Let's go with you first.
Okay. So this year, actually in December last year, I went ice skating with my friends and I fell really bad. And I kind of mentioned it on the show, I'm sure, that I fell and injured my shoulder. So by February, I wasn't feeling better. So I went in to the doctor and I had an x-ray done and they said, oh, well, you're developing a little bit of arthritis in your shoulder, but make sure, I want you to do your regular blood work. We're going to give you a steroid for your shoulder. And I was having a little bit of like an asthma, like a little bit of a lung pain. So I just, I started an asthma inhaler, and I was taking prednisone for having a really sore shoulder. And my doctor said, oh yeah, don't forget to go get your lab work done. So I went that day, but there was like 20 people in line. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. And I didn't get back till Friday. Originally, I went to see my doctor on Monday. So it was about 5 days later. And I had been taking prednisone all week. My shoulder was feeling a lot better. And one of the tests I had done was an A1C. And for those of you who don't know what an A1C test is, it's a cumulative blood sugar test over 3 months. And it was high. So it was at 7.5, which is considered diabetic. When I went in, my doctor called me the next day and she's like, your insulin, your A1C is at 7.5. You're diabetic. I want you to start taking metformin. I want you to start blood glucose testing every day. And I was like, this can't be. And so I chose to, all right, anyway, basically I already had considered many times and I tried many times my whole life to lose weight. I started a medical weight loss through my doctor, not through, not just a random, weight loss program, but I actually signed up for a weight loss program through my healthcare provider. And I've been on medical weight loss since March this year. So it's, facing the fact that I might be diabetic, facing the fact that I'm on high blood pressure medication. I'm having higher cholesterol. I'm having higher triglycerides. So for me, I was having a lot of kind of the beginning stages of having a lot of health issues that were just getting worse over time. And so, this has been my and for those of you who watched our show, I don't know if you noticed that my face has gone slimmer because I have lost a considerable amount of weight, but it's been something I haven't really wanted to talk about. And with James coming up on his condition that he had, or his serious health scare that he had, I thought this is the time that I'm going to talk about my health scare that I had earlier this year. So James, you want to talk about what you went through this week?
Typically on a normal morning, I go out and I jog for about 4 or 5 miles, and I felt very odd last Saturday morning, and I went, I'm going to sleep it off, but I'm definitely going to follow up with a doctor. Sunday, I felt solid, and I went out. It was hot, and it was humid, pretty nasty out Monday morning. Now out jogging, I'm a couple miles from my house, and I felt the left side of my body not go numb, but weak and tingling and a little numb and a bit of the face. I instantly recognized what it is. I already knew that there was not an ambulance nearby because I saw them go out on a 2-alarm call. I called a family member to come pick me up and say, take me to the hospital. Why? What's going on? Can I do this first? I went, this can't wait. And I went into the emergency room at Eisenhower Medical Center, Rancho Mirage. And I walked in there and I told the person at the desk, I need help right now. I am very sure I'm having a stroke. And they took my blood pressure and went, you're like, yeah. I could barely sign my name because I lost the fine motor control. I had to do big works. And I said, I can't sign my name. I needed my blood pressure, and you're going to find my code 10. My blood pressure was about 210 over 140 something. That is stroke material. I did have a stroke. I had what's technically called a small acute infarct within the right thalamus. It was a clog in my brain that started because my body, a vein in my brain, yes, I have a brain apparently, spasmed and formed a clot. That's what we believe it was from the neurologist. And I had a stroke. I am 48 years old. I am in very good health. My panels will show it. It just happened. And it was a wake-up call, not for myself so as much as a lot of people around me as we do it. I went in at 6. I was in the hospital. I went to the ER at 7:40 in the Monday morning. I was in there. I was given TPA for a clog. I bounced back. I had full feeling within an hour. But of course, I'm a stroke victim. I'm not leaving immediately. I was in ICU, and I finally got discharged from Eisenhower on about 4:00 Tuesday afternoon. Those of you that follow me on Facebook, my own personal Facebook, I made the announcement that night that I had a stroke. And we don't know what caused it, but we have a pretty damn good idea because I'm going to say it in for penny and for pound. I'm a pack and a half a day smoker. I roll my own. There's not a lot of tar, but there's no defending that action. And it's entirely the cigarettes that caught it because it's a I'm forgetting the names, but folks, we'll go into a little bit of physical manifestations, but that's the health scare that has been dominating the week. That's why it's been a quiet week for elk rack. I've been concentrating on that. And there's a lot of changes in life, hopefully temporary. Of course, the major one is quitting smoking. It's been a challenge. We'll touch on that. That's not the show tonight, but that's my health scare tonight. And that's going to be a big part of the theme of the show that kind of drove it. That's why Svea says, let's make the theme of the show, talk about it and go public. And I'm like, yeah. So those are the health scares we've had. And with that, there's, my story is, well, it's intertwined with the part, but one of the big challenges, because it's not that I had a stroke, it's the aftermath. When I was in the hospital, I wasn't going, whoa. I bottled up and I dealt with what I needed to do at the time to make myself better and live so that I don't look like, well, I'll act it out. I don't look like I have a palsy and I'm dripping right there and limping on one side. And I concentrate what I needed to do then, keep calm, go with it, the time in there, learn what I can, everything I can while I'm there, work with the staff. And I had the whole battery. I had MRI, echocardiogram, 2 CAT scans, and a whole bunch of blood work. First time in a hospital as a patient ever. And I knew I was going to deal with it afterward. When I got home, then I opened up and started going with what happened. And that was the biggest part, is the emotional challenge. And that's the part we want to address next to what we deal with, because that is so inhibiting or helpful depending on what you do. But that road to recovery is a railroad, and it's all the emotional. And that's what we want to talk about next.
Mm-hmm. So when I was talking to my doctor, I didn't want to agree with it because I've been on for other health reasons not related to diabetes. I was on metformin and previously, and I didn't like it. I just thought to myself, there's no way I want to be back on that medication. I don't accept that. And so there's a lot of stuff that I had to give up. And like going through what James is going through, saying, okay, no more Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's great. I love Dr. Pepper. But no more Dr. Pepper. No more like of these sweets. No more of these, eating like fried stuff. No more, I literally went from eating fast food every other day, eating whatever I wanted every other day, to pretty much eating absolutely no carbs. I went from, like I said, eating whatever to absolutely no carbs. And it was hard. That was about 2 to 3 weeks of that. And then 2 weeks, and then I got COVID. So even more so, I couldn't, go out and eat. But I pretty much, had to really give up a lot of things that I really loved to eat. And it's hard because eating isn't necessarily an addiction, but at the same time, you need to eat to survive. So it's really a hard thing that you have to change, because eating is surviving. Eating food is what you need. If you're hungry, you eat food, right? It's fuel. So weight loss and eating too much and eating too little and all that, it's all really connected. And it's really difficult because, I'm a very busy person. I mean, for those of you who know me, I'm constantly on the go. I'm like barely sitting down for very long at one place. I'm constantly doing this. I head up this organization. I head up this organization. I do this, I do that. And so for me, it's like, I just am a busy person. And it's like, I actually needed to stop and take a look at what I need to do for myself. And, being responsible and growing up in the respect that I need to do this for myself. And this is health situation now. Like, do I want to be diabetic? Do I want to be in that, situation? Can I change it? Can I put myself in a better situation? So I started off totally changing how I eat 100%. Within like 3 weeks of changing how I ate, my A1C dropped like point like 0.3. So I went from like 7.5 to like 7.3 within like 3 weeks, which is like crazy, right? I was doing my blood sugar, and at the beginning, it was kind of high, but it was still within range. So, but your standard range should be 70 to 120. And I was probably a little bit higher than that. But at the same time, when I started, measuring my blood sugar, it was always within below 120, but in a regular after between meals, right? And when I wake up in the morning, my blood sugar would be below 120. And that I started joining, I started the medical weight loss program through my healthcare provider. A couple weeks later, my A1C continued to drop. So right now, I mean, I started the program in March. My A1C is now at 5.4. And I haven't been taking any medications. Like I haven't been taking any kind of diabetic medications. I have been doing the weight loss program. I have lost weight. I have lost 50 pounds so far. And it's not easy. I mean, I've been doing the shake diet. It's meal replacement, going to classes every week with the medical program. And I've learned a lot about myself, and I've learned a lot about different ways to cope with whatnot. But it's definitely something that has opened my eyes so much. I've dieted my whole life, and I've never been successful ever. Like I've lost like 20 pounds in a program, but I've never lost this much ever. And I'm still working on getting down. I have a goal that I'm working on, and I'm hoping to achieve it by the end of this year. But it's hard. It's hard because, I have to really pay attention to what my portions are if I do eat some regular food. I have to pay attention to eating, how many, I need to have a salad with chicken versus having a chicken sandwich. Like there's things that I have to do to kind of continue that weight loss. And then also, try to just remember, why am I doing this? Like, why am I going through this whole process? And remember that, so for me, it's been a lot. I've changed how I eat. I don't drink regular soda anymore. I'll have some diet Dr. Pepper. I don't like it as much, but I know I don't like diet stuff, but I think that for me, it's the only thing I can do now. If I want that, I don't want to. And I'm hoping I have to, as soon as I'm done with my program, I do have to have everything checked again and have myself tested again to see if I really am diabetic, because there's a very good chance I might have avoided it or dodged the bullet, which I'm hoping that I did. So I'm hoping. I mean, I still am going through my program right now, but I'm off my blood pressure medication. My triglycerides are down. My cholesterol is down. My blood pressure is 100% normal without medication. I was having a couple other health issues that have almost practically gone away. And so for me, like, this has been a huge life changer. And like I said, it hasn't been an easy place to get to in all the years that I've been living how I've been living.
One thing I don't miss. Remember the days we'll be talking during the show meeting and you break out the shrimp chips, which we're eating those with a set of chopsticks. And you're like, I don't want to get my hands dirty. And you're like this. I'm going, That's a lot of shrimp chips, though. They're pretty good, but them days are over.
Yeah.
We're talking about what we got to do. And folks, I'm going to address parts. Is we talk about the emotional impacts right now. We're going to cover the base parts, but well, I could fill it. I could fill a 3-hour show with that. Um, I'm going to say now that with the stroke, what I had was considered. There is no small stroke, but the one I had could potentially, if I didn't get in within the golden hour, as Wendy Hodges posted out. That glad I got there within the golden hour. I was in there within the first hour because I've been the medical. I have a medical background. I have had to deal with people that have had strokes. I mean, suffering right there. They start a stroke. I've seen it. I've seen how their body droops. I don't know how it felt till now, and I saw the sign with me and nailed it and got in there. Thank goodness it was not when I was out hiking out in the desert. The results would be vastly not as favorable right now. But the fact that I came back, but you don't, the I'll backtrack here a little bit. The doctors and the nurses kind of nicknamed the mystery man because they're like, you're too young, and all your tests are coming back that you are in very good health. Why is this happen? It was a freak thing, and one doctor says enigma, but basically it was a freak in nature that I bounced back so quick because when I'm on the ICU, nurses are going by going, why is he here? That's a stroke patient? Are you sure? Because I'm like up and looking out the window. I've got all these wires connected to me. But the fact is that I got off very light. But you don't suffer a stroke. There's always a price to pay. And you will notice, and it's happened a little bit. I do, and I will say it, I do have a little bit of a short-term memory problem. It's very small. It's there. I've measured it, got it measured. There's a little bit of a memory problem, and this is still unfolding, folks. This only happened Monday. It's Friday night. I've only been home from the hospital 3.25 days, 4 days, whatever you want to do the math. So I'm still finding what the effects are. Short-term memory, very, very little. But the other part is that I do have a little reservation, a little slowness in my left hand because it's a left body. And I do have a little bit of a speech problem. You'll notice sometimes during the show, and it's happened a couple times, it's been very slight because I've been warming up the mouth for this, is I will pause on a word or I will mispronounce a word grossly. And that is from the results of the stroke. I'm not going to get off light. It's just the way it is. Hello, Maya. Glad you're here. So for me, it didn't start hitting until the emotional part. It didn't start hitting until when I got home. I stayed bottled up and I was basically a Vulcan from Star Trek. I was Spock. I'm like, that's fascinating. Oh, look at this. Oh, tell me more about this equipment. But I didn't know the measurer was going to do or what I was in for until I got home. And that's where you have options and let go. So I was actually discharged a day early. They went to send me a clinic and the doctor's like, I went, why? Look at me. Obviously, there's going to be some effects, but look at me. Why do I need to go to a rehab for 2 or 3 days? And the doctor agreed. I got discharged straight to home, got picked up, brought back to home. And I talked to Svea. And she goes, what are you going to do? You go public? I went, I don't know. It's a coin toss. She goes, that's the subject of this week's show. We're going to open up. And I went, you know what? You're right. We're going to open up. So I did a live video on Facebook and I started talking about what happened. I said, hey, I just got home from the hospital. I had a stroke yesterday morning. And in part of that video, you could see me come to the realization of when I started talking about some of the mental challenges and whatnot, the emotional challenges. I started having occurrences, realizations during that live video, and you can see the long look on my face kind of happen, and it started hitting, and it's been a slow unfolding to it. What is your biggest limitations you have that now is basically diet?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have to be very careful on what I eat. Today, for example, I went out to eat with my my friends and my husband and some coworkers, and I ate a hamburger with no bun. So I had with lettuce wrapped. It was like tiny pieces of lettuce. And then I had just a couple fries.
Yeah. My diet is,
That
yeah.
was it.
My diet is, I eat healthy. Obviously, I eat healthy. I go for fast food maybe once a week. A Pepsi, when you see me on the show, that's my Pepsi of the week. Maybe I'll have two, but that Pepsi that usually I'm sipping on it during the day, it's come out kind of as a gag for the show. That's over. Um, I like I said, eat healthy, stay low in sodium. So my diet has not changed drastically, but it's changed. I'm coming home. I'm on medications. I'm on Norvasc for the blood thinner, and the one I loathe is the blood thinner, and the other is Lipitor and Plavix. I'm on cholesterol medication. Mind you, folks, my LDL for the blood cholesterol was 149. It was not low. It definitely wasn't high, but they want my LDL down to 70. It's like rabbit food. And I'm taking baby aspirins to open up the veins. So I can take those. I want the hell off the lipid. I think it's the Lipitor. That's the cholesterol medication.
Yeah.
I want the hell off it. The
Mhm.
baby aspirin, I can accept it. Okay, I may be on that for life. That happens. There's ways to get aspirin, whatnot. That's fine. But the biggest physical effects is going to be, I believe, the Lipitor. I want the hell off it. I believe I will be off it briefly, just because everything's got to come down. I've got a follow-up appointment with a neuro and a cardiologist in a couple weeks, typically 3 weeks after the event is when it happens. But for me, it's the blood thinners. I had a phone call, and people that call support, I have had a lot of phone calls. Everybody watching this can be the show or later on that sees the show tonight, thank you. It's incredible. But the conversations I had, one person call up and say, okay, this is they want to give you the advice, the pragmatic advice, and you go with it, and it's like, yeah. But one of the first phone calls I had was a person that told me, all right, your days of expedition solo kayaking, which is a big part of what I love to do. It's not what I am, but it's what I love to do, is those backcountry trips. And she said, you've got a trip coming up in September in Utah. You cannot do this, 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 and this, and this. I've got a team. I'm a team leader for 10 people, and I've already got them telling me, you ain't leaving camp. You're setting up your camp on the sandbar, and you ain't hiking, because we're going to be some rough territory. The problem is that, and this is what I was hanging on, and I knew it, is that I won't be able to go hiking to the cool ancestral Pueblo ruins, some of the cliff sites where the petroglyph sites are at up in Canyonlands, because if I slip in that rough territory and I hit my head, because I'm on a very powerful blood thinner, if I hit and bump my head, I will have internal bleeding and the blood cannot clot. I will have cranial bleeding or thoracic. It'll fill the thoracic cavity. That's your chest. And out there, I could be definitely up a couple hours, and depending on the weather, what's going on, I could be 5 to 6 hours, half a day from emergency help. The only way to get out there's a helicopter. So my team's saying, this person on the phone saying, you can't go. I've got some people on my team saying, we'll back you up, but you ain't doing the hiking. That's not happening with you. I'm not that guy. I'm not an invalid. And the thought of me being out there leading a team that's telling me what I can and can't do, watch for the health, which I appreciate. I will. But if I can't go hiking out there, why the hell am I there? And that's another reaction I have to it. Things have been put more in perspective since then, but I'm being told by people I know that I trust their word, and I know them well, you're going to be on blood thinners the rest of your life. I, cuss word, do not want to be on these things. I want it the minimal time. So that was what I was focusing on. That's what I obsessed on. And that's where my emotional challenge came. I was pissed, which doesn't help when you're trying to lower blood pressure. It's counterproductive. And that's where my focus was at. And I talked to a lot of people, and they're like, I'm talking to them. And I actually joined a support group. I don't know if you did that at all, Svea.
Actually, I have a support group from my class.
Yeah. I'm going to put it in perspective with the blood thinners, but I want the hell off those things. That's my limiting factor. I'm setting a goal. that this stroke happened on July 18th. On September 18th, I'm going to be in this Maze District of Canyonlands, one of the most remote areas of the lower 48 states, to do what's called the Dollhouse Hike. It's a famous hike. It's also considered dangerous because of the remoteness of the area, and it's a beast hike. It's a 1,000-foot elevation gain over a mile to get up to the high country, to some amazing places. I've done the hike several times, but I've never done as a stroke survivor. And possible limitations. I'm going to do the Dollhouse hike. I am going to do what I got to do in this short 5-week period. I'm going to set a goal, and I'm going to do the damn Dollhouse hike. I'm not going to be told no. I will be told no and accept it if I know it's not safe for me because of the condition, but I got a goal. It's short term, but not quite cold turkey on the cigarettes, I'll admit it, but I need to lower that, and I need to chill. I need to do some major me changes, mental changes mostly, but I got to set a goal. But if I don't make that goal, am I going to get depressed? No, I'll set another goal. And I'll say, I'm going to do this by this time, and I'm going to do that hike. If I don't get this, that's the way it is. And that's what I'm telling myself. And the problem is that if I don't make that first goal, I know how I'll probably react, but when you go through it, it's something else. The mental challenges are a beast. I've never at any point said, why me? I focus on what I can fix at that time or a conceivable, reasonable amount of time. And I fix what I can, and I move on to the next thing. The what ifs is what's kicking my ass.
Yeah.
And it's tough on that one. I'm sure you've had the others. Have you had lectures from people as they come over and they carry and they talk to you?
No, the thing is that, like I said, it's really hard. The whole point about weight loss is really hard. I mean, it is significantly different than going through, dealing with the stroke and trying to rehabilitate yourself after a stroke. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing, it's hard because it's an addiction. Food is an addiction that, you live with because you need it to survive. Right. And the thing going through
coping mechanism.
But I was to say going through smoking as an addiction, it's not necessary. Right. I mean, it's a mechanism of coping, but it's not necessary to survive. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the thing that's hard. It's because it's like, well, I was hungry. I didn't have my stuff. I wasn't ready, So I've done so many different things to myself. Like I make sure I carry around extra shake packets. I make sure to carry around, so I have extra food. I have plans for, when I go out to eat, what I do so that I can still stay on my plan. I go in every week and, I'm accountable, and emotionally it's hard because, it's not, it's the weight loss, It's interesting. A lot of the people that are in our support group are talking about things that have happened with themselves that got them to that point where they were overweight. Mm-hmm. Right. And a lot of it is like, family dynamic. And a lot of it's family dynamic. And, just like when I was a kid, like I turned to food a lot as a coping mechanism. So, growing up with not my mom, but my dad is from a different culture. And, culturally, things in Japan versus the US are very different. And, going through what I went through, food was like such a comfort for me. And I've learned a lot about myself doing this program. I've learned a lot about, knowing that I'm, doing it for myself. I'm doing this whole program for myself and thinking about how I feel differently now that I've lost 50 pounds. We went on a trip. My mom and I went on a trip last week, and I had said in my class, holy moly, I was carrying my laptop, my purse, and my duffel bag. I was carrying around how much weight I lost.
Wow.
And I was running through the airport at some points, and I was, walking really far, and I was exhausted just from walking all of that, like, because we had connecting flights, and it's hard, and going through, and anyway, but I mean, it's just realizing that it was kind of crazy, realizing how much I lost is literally what I was carrying. I mean, I didn't weigh it personally, but I know, like, those bags were heavy, like that. It was hard.
Pretty amazing goals on that one. Can I touch on the support group?
Yeah.
Probably do. One thing that we're both dealing with, there's so many similarities, even though it seems so different what we're dealing with. Svea was a brought-on lifestyle choice. Mine was an emergency situation, thrust out of nowhere with no time to adjust, and just boom. We both, so many similarities to what we have, and it's the process is the same, it's just different settings.
Mm-hmm.
I joined I used to counsel Vietnam veterans many years ago, and I seen them with 1,000-yard stare, the PTSD, the emotional, and I'm like, I had another incident where I had to join a support group after being a victim of criminal identity theft back in 2006. I joined a support group. And so I'm not all, he man made me do everything. I am kind of that way. I'm like, me do handle and beat my chest. But I recognize that when you need help. And I went ahead and just sought out a support group. Let's get a support group and get this healing started now. And I found an online one that's designed, that's specific for younger stroke victims under 55 years old. And I signed on, and I kind of know human nature, and I know it was in for, but I'm looking for those right ones to see what they are and see what other people are dealing with, because we've got a story that we share. We have a shared story now. And I put in there, I introduced myself. I said, hey, I just had the stroke a couple days ago. I'm out of the hospital. I have this coming over, but I still have some limitations. I'm learning what it is. Folks, I'm learning limitations this evening. I have a little bit of balance. I think I mentioned that earlier. But when I posted on there, I got fried by stroke victims that do not have the ability to use the side of their face, to walk out perceptibly where a person would not suspect you ever had a stroke. They encased for years and years or a decade. And we're talking people who are like in their 20s, sometimes 19, 18, that are stuck in chairs using a walker, and they would someone would come in and say, I wish I could be you. You're so lucky. Another person actually posted a picture, says, this was me snowboarding 5 days before my stroke, and I was an Army infantry, and I can't even do that. They're pissed off at me because I walked away like I did. There were other more measured, mature responses that said, hey, folks, he's not you. That's his life. And this is your life. We have something in common, but this is not that. Everybody does not walk away like this, but he still has an experience. And all our roads are different, but we have something we can each share and learn from. And that's why I joined the support group. I have spent a fair amount of time on it, talking with other individuals. And at the same time, we look at that support group, there's others that do. The fact that I've gone public with everything, such as Svea's going public, she is not there. Svea's had a lot of trepidation sharing this. She really has. This is very brave of her. And that's amazing, Svea, to do this, to come open. It's not easy to do this. I've been doing this for days. It's some of you that watch the show that will see my Facebook, this is not new stuff to you.
Well, the thing about this is that it's kind of embarrassing, because it's like you don't want to share this stuff, and you don't want to look like you're crying or whining or being like, oh, poor me. This isn't the reason why we're saying this. Kind of the reason why we're bringing this up is that we're trying to kind of say, hey, you know, take a look at what's going on in your life and, you know, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, because that's the most important thing about this. You know, I mean, it, and then I was, you know, trying to think about positive things that we were going to talk about.
Oh, we're definitely going to bring it up a level here real soon.
So go ahead, James.
I just want to briefly bring up family, friends. That I think this is the time to do that before we bring it out. You know, one of the things that came up is that I have family members that and well-meaning friends would call up and say, "Hey, man, this is a wake-up call." I hate that word right now. A wake-up call for you, man. You need to stop. Yes, it's like the napping joke. A wake-up call for you, and you need to do this and this, and you need to stop eating out. And it's like I'm eating a pizza every day for breakfast or lunch and dinner, and you need to quit all the soda. Well, I don't, and I'm getting lecture from saying you need to do this, and man, your life's got to change. You got to change your diet, eat healthy like I do, and all that. And they are making themselves the self-appointed evangelicals of proselytizing, being a life coach, and they don't know they're doing that. And when they do that, they stick their foot in their mouth because I'm already doing this and this and this. When your prognosis and the doctor says mystery man, a freak of nature, and they're telling you need to do this, it's folks, they don't understand it. And the other part is that I have talked to as recently as 8:30 tonight. I've been keeping up with other stroke victims. One individual's contacted me, and we've been talking several times in the last few days, that they never admitted to their family that they had a stroke like 8 years ago. And they finally came there it is. See it? That was the stroke. They came clean with with their family just a couple days ago. They're watching my videos. They contacted me, and I've been talking to them. But we have something in common. They had a very light stroke, but they had a speech impediment, just like I just demonstrated. That was the stroke, folks. That family doesn't understand. And even in my case, I have not the people in my house, but that I live with here, but others that I work with routinely or see routinely don't understand this thing we're going through, that we appear to look like what we were, but we're not. We have a new limitation, and we have to rewire and work with this. Mine is nothing compared to the person I was talking with this evening, and he has essentially given up hope. And we're playing a support group for each other. I'm meeting with them hopefully tomorrow to encourage them to get back on the recovery. But pardon me, that was I'm drinking a lot of water because it gets kind of hot under these lights and stuff, and I have a green screen behind me, so there's no circulation. And occasionally I get lightheaded, and I got to drink a lot of water because it's part of the side effects from the meds from the blood thinners. A lot of sweating. I lost my tolerance for heat.
So James,
That's part of the effect right there. But sorry, I just got dizzy for a second. I got to do this because I'm getting kind of worked up.
So James, let's move to positive because we're starting to run out of time.
Because I'm affecting myself right now.
Okay, so
I need to recap this, please.
Okay, go for it.
Folks, that you don't know what they're going through, and it's a challenge for all of us, because those of you that know a stroke victim or a person that's gone through a heart attack, or sudden diagnosis of cancer, it's hard to empathize with them unless you've been through it. But what you can be is an ear. And talking to other stroke victims this week and others that have confided me about their cancer they may have, I've been hearing a lot. I mean, there's a lot on the shoulders, and I am humbled that I am in the position to be able to listen to them for this. And, but you can empathize, and the best thing you do is play an ear and just talk. And if you can share information on medical information or an insight, don't lecture. That is, and say, "Oh, you look good." Don't do that. Just play an ear and come in, make a joke, and listen, and roll with it, and understand that you are blessed to be in a position to help a victim or a survivor or somebody in that challenge because they don't know what to do. They don't have a clear picture. You don't have a clear picture, but you can work together on it. And you're not a burden. Don't be scared to be a crutch. You have the gift to help another human being in a damned hard situation. And it's a gift, folks. It's a gift from to be able to do that for someone. And with that, we want to bring a positive.
Yes. So I wanted to say the things that I've experienced with my weight loss is I've been able to, I haven't been able to stress, I've been so stressed out about trying to go into parking spots with my car. I can open my door and I don't have to worry about not being able to open my door. I know it sounds funny, but that is a huge thing for me. Having more energy since I've lost weight, I feel like I can walk much faster than I used to because, like I said, I'm not carrying around those like extra bags on a regular basis. So I feel like I'm getting it faster. I already have to have all my good clothes taken in. Uh, So, I mean, some of the things that some of the outfits that I really love, I'm just going to have them taken in because I can't replace them and it makes me happy. Those things have been great. I've noticed that I didn't recognize my driver's license photo. So, since we moved, I have to get a new driver's license and, I definitely need to talk to them about getting a new picture because I don't look like my picture at all. I don't even recognize my face. So, I mean, that's kind of an amazing thing, to realize, and it's like, wow. When I look at the pictures of myself from last year, I'm like, wow, look how much I've changed. And because of me sharing my what I've been going through with some of my really close friends, some of my friends who need to look into taking care of themselves they are looking into taking care of themselves and looking into losing weight and feeling healthier. So I've been helping people feel inspired about themselves too.
That's so important.
So, and I think that James, what you're doing, talking about what you're going through, I think that's really helping people who, see and know about what to look for and how to, try to take care of themselves.
Being open on this and the videos I've been putting out, just a few related stories. Is I had one person I've been hearing from a lot of friends, some of mine I haven't heard from years this week. Thank you for doing that. That's huge. One person says, I just got diagnosed with AFib. I'm on blood thinners and I'm a candidate for stroke. He's watching every video saying, I'm learning the signs because I don't know about this. And you lived it. I'm listening to every word you say, so I know what to measure. I had a phone call from, what time is it? 2:54. I had a phone call this morning from a person who was active on the paddle circuit back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And we still occasionally talk once a year. He called up and says, I watched your video. I have a friend that lives, he lives unhealthy. He's 60. He eats burgers and stuff. He's a walking heart attack. And this guy means a lot to me. And I sent him your first video. I sent him a link and I've sent him every video since saying, this guy's kayaking does this, this, and this. And this happened out of the blue to him. And the guy is listening. He listened to that going, oh, and I got that call and it sent chills up my spine. I'm not getting arrogant going, look at what my videos have done. But the fact is that I've opened up on it, and it is knowing that it affects people is humbling to be blessed in that position, to be able to share that and do that. The other part is that's probably, I want to say for the last, for my part, is that I have a few about 3 people so far that have gone up going, dude, you really quitting cigarettes? Went, I had a damn stroke. Yeah. I don't want to go through that again. I want off the blood thinners. I don't want it round 2. I'm now susceptible to it. It ain't a pretty thought. And they're going, well, you're quitting the cigarettes, man. And you're doing that in your stroke. It's like, you were like the guy that did all this stuff. And I went, I still am. But laying off, they're like, if you can do it and this happened to you, I'm laying off. So we've now formed and we're talking to each other twice a day, little conference call to talk about and support each other on quitting smoking. And if someone breaks, they get chewed out. Matter of fact, I've broken a couple of times, and somebody right on the screen right there has chewed me out a few times because when I break, I text them and then I get a phone call from on either Svea, and they're taking turns between Chris and Svea going, James.
So James,
Yeah.
explain to them what I told you about smoking. Because it's kind of funny.
I had a stroke. I don't remember.
Oh, you don't? So you want me to remind you?
I'm seriously, I'm
okay.
It's not coming to me right off the bat. I meant to make a joke, but
okay.
Sorry.
So James sent me a text message saying that I rolled a cigarette and I smoked. And I called him. I said, James, I said, do you like smoked salmon? He's like, yes. I said, well, you realize your lungs are like smoked salmon. You're smoking your lungs. And he was like, well, I like smoked salmon. I said, do you know that smoked salmon can get worms?
And she's like, you could get worms in your lungs. And I was like, I could go fishing by just going.
So I was just trying to make him kind of think, oh yeah, it could be bad. Trying to think of making a smoked salmon out of his lungs.
I'm going to admit to you that I really have already told you that I broke it a couple other times. I didn't text Svea. I texted a couple other people so I can spread the love of people that have blanket permission to beat me over the head. Thank God for the internet and phone calls, because they would come over to my house, or if I go in front of them, I would have bruises on my face. And folks, I'm a stroke victim. I'm on blood thinners. You hit my face, that bruise is going to stay around, and you won't see this pretty mug. Will not look pretty next week. So
Yeah.
aim for down here, not the pretty face.
Yes. Well, I told James that we're going to see James on Sunday. Yeah. And I told James that I'm going to go and look around for hidey holes of where any stashes could be. And those things are going to get thrown away.
You're not going to want to look in my hidey hole while I hide it. Okay. You know what that implies. One of the things is that's really fun about is making the jokes of this. And this morning, one of the kids I work with in Boy Scout Venture Crew I oversee, I'm an adult advisor for. I texted the crew president and says, hey, remember, I'm a stroke victim. I'm having a problem with short-term memory, so I'm renaming everybody Amber. So I named you Amber. He goes, ha ha. I went, yeah, well, thanks, Amber. And I've been calling him Amber. He's like, just stop. I'm like, okay, Amber. And I have this person that when we go on trips, I blame this imaginary person named Philip. And I'll go, hey, anybody seen Philip? Well, the new kids goes, who's Philip? And the other kids are going, just go with this. Yeah, Philip did this. He was over here. And we make up stories about Philip. So I text one of the older kids and I said, hey, I'm going through redoing the emails, and pardon me because I do have a little bit of memory problem because of the stroke. I have a list of somebody here written name is Philip. Is he in the crew, and how long's he been in? So I text him that as a joke. 1 minute later, I get this phone call, and he goes, James, he's very sheepish, very shy, but going, James, I don't know if this is a joke, but Philip's not real. And I went, I know. I'm messing with you, dude. And he goes, oh, and I get off the phone going, and I nicknamed another person, Sir Hair. Oh God, what was that name? The show, the Baron Munchausen. I said, I can't remember names, so I'm just going to name you Sir Baron Munchausen. And he's coming back with, ha ha. I went, I'm a stroke victim, man. And though I did find out, I now qualify for a handicap placard. Not going to do it, but I'm having fun pulling jokes on this.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Amber?
I don't know what you're talking about, Philip.
Huh? Well,
set
you
it
know
up.
what? Let's just go ahead and share with some of our audience as we close some of the love comments and our appreciation. We want to go ahead and show from the Friday Ninja Monster Hunter Squad president herself, Amber. Thank you, Amber. Much love to you guys. Thank you.
Nice.
And of course, we have from Amber again, another one. Thank you, Amber. And also from one of our favorite viewers, also, thank you, Amber. Allowed to be human. Good show, you two.
Yes. Thank you, Amber.
And let's not forget our head of security. Let's bring up our head of security. Where is it? Boy, I really got to scroll up.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments.
From Amber in 29 Palms, eating right does take a little effort, but it's better for us. I had to learn to eat clean a few years back, using any food as medicine as well as a preventative.
Mm-hmm.
That's a healthy way to look at it.
Fruit and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables.
Fruit and vegetables. So one more word from the president. Amber says, hey, you get in front of now parking with the placard. What? Is this another like the emergency parachute joke? I don't get it right off.
No, they're just saying that you legitimately could probably get a placard.
I'm not going to. No.
Hmm.
No. Save that for the people that need it. That's what we got, folks.
James,
we're feeling the love.
You'll say that. I could even imagine you have to use a walker and you're still going to say, I don't need a placard. So like when you're like old and you're like, you know, like,
for somebody that needs it.
And you're like 105 years old and you're like walking with the walker. You're like, I don't need a placard.
I'm 105 years old. I will have evil robot body going around going, I don't need placard. With the laser, boom, goes the car.
Yes, exactly.
And then I fly away in my rocket boots in my robot body.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so
wait, show this.
Yeah, I just hit it too. A walker with a bell.
Ding, ding,
all right, that's a Breaking Bad reference.
I'm walking here.
Well, this is a Breaking Bad reference to Mr. Salamanca, as well as a recent episode from Better Call Saul. Somebody watches AMC. So, hey, I can't use. Okay, we got it, folks. So, folks, thank you for the caring. Thank you for the words. We're glad you stuck with us tonight. Always awesome. I want to take the opportunity right here just to put it out there is with the folks I've talked to this week that have been huge help putting things in perspective, understanding the medical charts, spending time with me on this, and working with. I want to give a shout out to Helen Howard, Christy Nieto she's been a great help. She's been coming on and saying, "Hey, you doing, bud?" She's so cool. Terry Gerber, Wendy Hodge, Kelly Jo Miller, Carrie Fife, Dave Burdick, Todd Davidson, and Svea. And
then also, of course, anyone who James forgot to remind.
And to anybody else, there's so many. I want to give those shout outs. There's a lot of people I've talked to. There's others that I'm not immediately coming to mind. Remember, I'm a stroke. I have a memory problem. That applies a little bit, but again, making jokes of it. But others that have supported, big heart.
Yes.
Awesome. You're all
thank
awesome.
you for everyone. I mean, we both I've a lot of my friends that I've talked to. I mean, same thing. It's like I've gotten so much support from my friends going through what I'm going through, and I get it. It's just nice to have my friends check on me, and so I mean, I get that. So
Gotcha.
Thank you to all my friends. And Wendy Hodge said, Amber.
Thank you, Amber. That may be a new Easter egg in the closing credits.
Yes.
All right, folks. We ready?
Yes. So thank you, guys.
Big heart. Thank you for watching. We talked. We will give updates. I'll give updates on the show, how things are going. So they'll give updates on this and how it's doing as a follow-up and let you know. We'll give you briefs. And also, we got to give you updates on Melody Varag and her wedding coming up because she couldn't be on the show that time. We got that coming up too. We got to build up to her wedding in November. All right.
Right.
This has been this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk. Amber, thank you. Good night, Amber.
Good night, everyone.
I'm getting the closing credits up. All right.
Okay.
Well, a little bit more. Remember, stroke victim, I get forgetful. There it is. All right. And here we go. Cue tap dance.
Aw, ain't he cute?
Hey, Amber, guess what?
What?
Good night, Amber.
Good night, Amber.